Hi, my name is Nicole, and for my digital literacy project, I'm going to be discussing suicide in the media. It seems like every time you turn on the TV, you hear the sad news of someone taking their own life. As someone who works in the mental health field, it is a major issue. There is not enough information given to people about the prevention of suicide. According to author Amy Nutt from the Washington Post, suicide is a public health crisis. Numbers are continuously rising, and as of the last report from the CDC, there are about 30,000 reported suicides a year. These numbers far surpass homicides and opioid overdoses by at least 60%. In the 27 states that use the National Violent Death Reporting System, 54% of suicides were of people that had no mental health diagnosis. This is why it is imperative that people overcome the stigma associated with mental health and become more informed. The media has a very important role to play in this epidemic. By downplaying the seriousness of the act of suicide, they make it seem as though it's not a big deal. Instead, news outlets should be explaining to the viewers the importance of seeking help. News anchors need to realize it is important to consider their audience because the stories they report impact people's lives. If news stories were more informative about mental health, there could be a more positive outcome. We've come a long way in the receiving of information. The evolution of communication has brought news outlets literally to our fingertips, which is one of the positive factors in the media, as is the multiple outlets we have to get the information from. Media has a serious part to play in how people perceive mental health issues. One of the less offensive things the media does when reporting is giving less attention to suicide than homicides. News outlets have established a tone that downplays the seriousness of the act of suicide. Maybe it's because it's being reported more and more. News outlets should be taking the time to educate viewers on such a sensitive subject, because when people are feeling depressed, hopeless, and vulnerable, there becomes a 1 to 2% chance of the suicide due to the reporting. When the media reports on celebrity suicide, it has a large impact on people who are contemplating suicide. Celebrities are viewed as role models. When people can relate strongly to a person, they are more likely to see themselves going down the same path. The topic of suicide is not limited to just the news outlets, but also to TV shows that target teenage viewers. Shows such as 13 Reasons Why create a misguiding justification to the action of taking your own life. 13 Reasons Why is a TV series adapted from a best-selling book. The series follows the main character, Hannah, a high school girl who's already killed herself, and it recaps the reasons that led her to her decision. The main character is rationalizing her decision by blaming others for her feelings of sadness and loneliness. Teens gravitate to things they can relate to. By promoting a show like this, it gives an illusion this is the only option. Instead of showing a young girl taking her own life, maybe it would be a better idea to explain how to deal with internal issues and show that there are options that could have helped her to overcome her feelings. People of all ages are in a very vulnerable state when contemplating taking their own life. Working in a large psychiatric practice gives me a better understanding of people with mental health illnesses, both young and old. I have seen 2 patients in my 9 years of being in the field take their own lives. It does not matter who you are, how you were raised. It's sometimes people feel sad, hopeless, and lost. Without the right tone and understanding of people with mental health illness, it is impossible to fully convey the right information to the public. This is why it is so important for people to be better educated so they can make their reporting more educational to people with or without mental health illness.